Hello and welcome again to my channel. Um, my name is Jose. So to those who are new, my name is Jose. I do a bunch of things. So I'm mm, multifaceted. You can call me that. I don't know. I think it's gifts from past lives and many, many, many things. I'm not that I can like being everywhere. I don't want to be like the jack of all trades kind of thing, but it comes off like that. But I focus actually several on several things, namely astrology, particularly what I can like to coin microastrology, because there's microbiology, micro this and others. I was like, okay, why not call it microastrology? And then there's also music. I mean, instrumentalists. If you look on my channel, you look at the music I played in there. It's more like meditation stuff, but I need to do more for sure. I know. There's also languages. I love languages. I don't believe in studying languages. I believe in acquiring them naturally, like babies, toddlers, and children do. So I don't do any translation, all that stuff. I don't. Translation is a means to an end. I don't study. I don't do the grammar. I do use sometimes textbooks, but I don't have them translated. But it's kind of like a cheat sometimes, and that's okay. When you cheat, you cheat. But anyway, today's video is mainly about what I feel is the what do you call this? Our I don't want to poke the bear, or I don't want to, walk on eggshells or whatever. Like I don't want to place any negativity out there. But what I noticed about the concept of transness, being trans, not necessarily as a transgender person, um, I mean, I identify as cisgender, but what I'm saying is that we all have our in us that transness. It triggers in. There's still people out there who are triggered by transness. Um, but I find it with transness. I actually posted a video on this. Um, is that it is uh, understanding where you're moving to another. But it's not really about moving to another. It's also about finding the connection between whole like the polar opposites, so to speak, or literally also polar opposites or actual polar opposites. Either way, polar opposites and combining them. So even the concept of non-binary that ties in with what we're getting as humans, because when we get triggered by something, I actually just got this message earlier today on Facebook, and it was just like this message that is like a reminder that anything that triggers us is a lesson for us to learn. So it's wonderful stuff. I'm just like, oh, I get triggered by that. Okay. I don't get triggered by trans. I don't. Um, I'm saying that when it comes to things that trigger us, particularly in this case by trans, because it's different, it's like good to question all that stuff, right? So transness actually I find here, I took notes on this a little bit, short notes, is that it teaches us not only about what's called transition, even when you talk about transition from life to death, or rather in spirit, coming back home, actually meaning that, going back to that whole like, oh, we were just playing a game, we were just playing a story, we were just acting. That's that transition, right? But also like transformation and non-duality. I'm pretty sure you've seen this in certain videos, but maybe if you haven't, that's what it is. That's why I discovered, because it's like transis is like, transition trans, right? But when we look at it deeply and see where we're going from one thing to the other, it gets scary, right? And there's that energy that comes with it. Why people on both sides, where it's like the people who get triggered by it, it's like, oh, I'm afraid of the unknown. That's what it is. When you transition, you're afraid of the unknown, right? I actually had a reading done for me about uh, uh, you know, how can I dissolve like, my fear of the unknown. We all get afraid of that, especially as mammals. Oh yeah. Right. So it's that fear of the unknown, but it's also the fear of different. Again, different is tied to unknown. If you go deeper, it's like, why are we afraid of things that are different? Because it's unknown, it's unfamiliar, it's not comfortable, it's not familiar. Right. It's not something that, my coach says that when something is familiar, we get comfortable in it, even if it's like toxic, even if it's like a threat to life itself. It feels kind of like suffocating. It's abusive. You get into it because there's this familiarity with it, right? But the thing about familiarity is kind of like what my coach says, actually, Aaron Dowdy. He says that when the reason we're getting to we latch on to familiarity is because it's something that is actually comfortable. It's comfort zone, right? We don't want to move out of it, regardless of how toxic or dark it is, or you know, anything that's energy sucky, as I put it. Okay. But the thing is, we have to face that because there's always something better. So that's what it is. I feel like the idea of transness, this concept, it's just a concept, really. Um, for transgender people, it's not a concept. I mean, it's a physical manifestation of what needs to happen, right? So I'm not here to go into the, transness, like being transgender and all that stuff. I'm not here to that. I'm not. So I don't have anything to say about that. But what I do understand about transness, or inner transness, this concept that can be a part of us, like our inner gayness, our inner straightness, our inner thisness, or whatever it is. Okay. Like our animal side, our funny side, our wild side, our behaving side, our discipline side. We all have aspects of ourselves that are fragments of the same whole thing. It's all about owning that, coming back into it. So there's also the thing about transness represents to me the temporariness of form and the identification to it, of it, you know. So when we're in transition, we sort of let go of that. We can let go of that. Because I mean, death is the ultimate transformation, isn't it? Death is the ultimate transness because we are releasing. We have no choice but to release. But the thing is, this illusion we have about I have a choice. Well, yeah, you have a choice, but at the same time, when it's time to go, when it's time to change, you do make another choice. So even though we feel like we don't have a choice, we actually do have a choice so that we can go to another form that gives us a choice to make choices, if that makes sense. Okay, so the other thing about this is like it's actually tied to astrology. So how you can find what it is, if you look at the mythology, go deep into the mythology of some of the asteroids. Um, One of them, I believe, is going to be through the planets Uranus and Neptune. But it could be also other planets too. There are several ones, but the one that's significant that I discovered was actually uh, Loki, the asteroid Loki, literally Loke. Okay. Sorry, just kind of lost here. One second. I am looking at. Wonder why I'm not getting anything there. Okay. Computer's being funny. But anyways, Loki is one of them. And I think there's also another one called Thetis or Themis or Metis. Again, Thetis, Themis or Metis. There's shapeshifting there. I forgot which one it is because I can't access my file here. Um, I don't notice. It happens. But I'm not gonna extend the video just looking for that. But Loki is one of them. So if you find that, there are other ways to tell it on the chart. Um, if you're talking about specifically, that could be concept of transition or shapeshifting or actual transgender. Um, it's Loki's a big one. Can you look at the story? If you look at there's even a Netflix show called Ragnarok. It's a Norwegian show. Pardon my Norwegian. Uh, uh, I'm okay with Norwegian, but anyways, the point is Loki is one of them. Again, one of the Greek goddesses, Thetis, or Thetis, or uh, actually, I discovered it. Okay, I mean, I found it. Okay, let's see here. Shape shifting. Ah, okay. Pan can be also one. Pan is for the word pansexuality. So that makes sense. Pan is one of them. There's also Metis. Okay, so that's Metis. Metis, Pan, Thetis. Hmm. Metis, Pan, Thetis, and Loki. And actually, I would also say, um, oh, Lameia. Oh, that's interesting. Lameia. So these are specifically shape-shifting. Okay. Um, sorry, one second here. Metis, Metis. And but there's also Sedna. She's about metamorphosis. But Sedna is more about emotional metamorphosis. So you could look at those. One significant one I feel would be Sedna, because the other ones feel more physical, more like in the body itself. But Sedna is more it's a dwarf planet, so it's new concepts, new aspects of the psyche that's out there because they're dwarf planets. Okay, so there's that. But anyways, I think that's all I wanted to say for this video. It's really about embracing temporariness or what's the word? Uh, uh, in what is that? Finiteness or something like that. But anyways, the point is that when something is temporary, when something is finite, when there's uh impermanent, there you go. So impermanence, right? So when we embrace impermanence, we realize that it gets easier to transition, however that may be for you. Okay. Again, the video was not about specifically transgender stuff, but it is about transness. I'm calling it transness because we all have it in ourselves. And then once we realize we own it in ourselves, we're not going to get triggered by things that used to trigger us. um, there's nothing to be really triggered about, right? We come from unconditional love, and that's where we're headed. So again, astrologically summarizing this, Loki is a big one. But there's also Pan, Thetis, Metis, Lameia, and Sedna. That's what I discovered in my book here, my little research. So if you have any questions, I feel like there's something, because I'm coughing, something here that wants to something about speaking out. I feel like I'm getting this image of like people going, they want to speak out. So when it comes to your own transitions, whatever that may be, speak it out. I don't know, just a little message. I feel like people are people need to speak out more about their own truth, what it means for them. Right? Could be your spiritual shape shifting, could be transness, any sort of simple thing like transness. It could be that also it is transgender related. So yeah, either way. But I hope this helps. I hope this was a bit of an information that you can work on. Again, look into the mythology, have fun with it. If you look at my video, there's a video right about creating your own astrology. It's titled Creating Your Own Astrology, or same thing, MAFA or Make Astrology Fun Again. Um, Creating Your Own Astrology. It's a funny one. Or cheat sheet. There's another one called cheat sheet or cheating, something like that. Yeah, it's in my list. I might send add the link below, but go to my channel and you'll see the videos there. It's based on most recent. Go backwards. Okay. And that's it for now. If you have any comments below, like and subscribe if you like to. But thank you for watching again. I hope that helps. I wanted it to be a short video. It's like 15 minutes. But anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.